We are 6 days away from Payback, and this is what WWE gives us for the go home show to the Raw exclusive pay-per-view, Payback. Welcome everybody to your Raw review for April 24th, 2017. This show, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a great show. It was just an average Monday Night Raw that we come to expect from the WWE after WrestleMania. WrestleMania's gone. They've put on their good show after WrestleMania, and now they're back to normal. They had their high points, they have their good points still. However, really, a big portion of this show is a drag. If they would cut out that third hour, the show would be awesome. They could get rid of a lot of the filler, of the junk that nobody wants to see. Perfect example is Kurt Hawkins giving us the facts about how he's creating stars like the Big Show and everybody else that he's jobbing to. And Apollo Crews, who he jobbed to tonight. And that's not going to do one single thing. Or Alicia Fox and Dana Brooke. Not going to do anything. That 30-second match that we had to witness tonight. Good team, good pair. Dana Brooke and Emma. But that match did nothing tonight. That third hour, if that was eliminated, we wouldn't have to witness any of that crap. There are some good things that happen. I really like how they're building the monster among men, Braun Strowman, absolutely laying the waste of Kalisto tonight, destroying him. He did lose the dumpster match to Kalisto. Kalisto kicking him in the dumpster and his feet falling in. But afterwards, you might as well say that Braun Strowman picked up the victory because he absolutely destroyed Kalisto, chokeslamming him 3-4 times and throwing him in the dumpster and then throwing it off the stage. Kind of relived the Attitude Era when D-Generation X, New Age Outlaws, threw Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack off the stage back in the Attitude Era when they was in the dumpster. But they're doing a fantastic job building up Braun Strowman right now. Definitely cannot lose this Sunday against Roman Reigns. He's getting too big of a monster push. And if Braun Strowman is going to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship in a couple months, he can't lose to Roman Reigns. Absolutely not. Very surprised that they have not made a stipulation in this matchup between Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. See what happens later on in the week. But as of right now, it's still just a one-on-one singles matchup. See what happens. Matt Hardy versus Sheamus tonight. This match, the biggest thing about this match between these two is they're testing the waters of the Hardy Boys and singles competition and sooner rather than later, I think we're going to see Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy, splitting and going on their own. And WWE getting rid of Team Extreme. Them definitely bringing them back as Team Extreme at WrestleMania 33 to get the huge big pop from everybody, especially the fans that don't know those two gimmicks, Brother Nero and the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick. So they're testing the waters right now of those two being single stars. See if people are still over with it. But this matchup, Matt Hardy did pick up the victory over Sheamus. Jeff Hardy and Cesaro got involved at the very end of it. And then, bam! Hit the twist of fate on Sheamus for the 1-2-3. TJ Parkins and Neville versus Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher. Every time Jack Gallagher and Austin Aries are in the ring versus Neville, they always have a good dynamic. Neville is doing some of the best work he has done in years right now as a heel with the Cruiserweight Championship. Will he retain the title at Payback against Austin Aries? Remains to be seen. They've built up this rivalry enough now that I see Austin Aries being able to take the championship away from Neville, but he's still doing the best work he's done in years. This tag matchup, it was okay. Normal Cruiserweight Champion, tag team match. Chris Jericho, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, they all had their segments at the very beginning. They all had their talk show at the very beginning. Chris Jericho had his talk show, and the highlight reel came out, and he was his own guest. He said he had the greatest guest of all time, and it was his because it was the last highlight reel on Monday Night Raw. And he was going to have all his friends cheer him on, man. Next thing we know, The Miz interrupts him. And he was going to have the must-see talk show in history, Miz TV. Next thing we know, Dean Ambrose is going to have the Ambrose Asylum. He comes out and he hits the dirty deeds on The Miz. All this sets up a huge tag team matchup at the end of Monday Night Raw, where Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose has to face The Miz, and Miz has to get himself a tag team partner. Alexa Bliss and Bayley and Sasha Banks all have a talking segment. This is building up to Alexa Bliss taking on Bayley for the Women's Championship in Bayley's hometown, San Jose, California, this Sunday. Bayley is going to pick up the victory here this Sunday. No question. Give the hometown girl the win. But Alexa Bliss, really shined, if you ask me, in this segment. Making fun of Bayley and Sasha Banks having their, friendship thing and them talking to each other and, their best friends forever segment that they always talk about. So Alexa Bliss was making fun of them, doing her usual stick. She's the best heel WWE's got, in my estimation. And sooner rather than later, she will be the Raw Women's Champion. No question about that. Bayley, she also made fun of because of having that 12-year-old girl in her and wanting to be in WWE since she was 12 years old and having all these autographs and pictures and all that kind of stuff. So she's going to take the title away from Bayley in front of her dad this Sunday. And should be a good contest. But Bayley will walk away the victor. No question about that. Samoa Joe and Gallows and Anderson cut a pretty decent promo about Seth Rollins. This, really looked like the formation of a good, team. And, it seemed like something that, we could see on Monday Night Raw more often. I'm interested in it, them tearing the house down and going after all the competition on Raw, really destroying, people on Raw. Samoa Joe taking Kevin Owens' spot. That would be very intriguing, very interesting in seeing. One thing I did notice was at the very beginning of the 6-man tag team matchup, Finn Balor took Enzo's spot in the 6-man tag match, and it ended up being Finn Balor and Seth Rollins and Big Cass versus Anderson, Gallows, and Samoa Joe. Finn Balor turning on Rollins and Cass and joining Anderson, Gallows, and Samoa Joe would be perfect and would be awesome to see. Finn Balor, a bad guy, turning heel, them taking over Raw and destroying Raw would be awesome as well. In the main event, Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho pretty much faced The Miz throughout the biggest part of this. I've said it before and I will say it again. The Miz is being buried on Monday Night Raw. It sucks to see this because The Miz was so promising on SmackDown Live. The Miz had really high hopes on SmackDown, and ever since he's been on Raw, he has, he still has those good promos, but his match quality, he just goes out there and just gets waylaid, destroyed, and, just gets beat up and loses. And the biggest part about this main event was to make Bray Wyatt look strong. Because Bray Wyatt, in the end, came out and destroyed Dean Ambrose, destroyed Chris Jericho, and destroyed The Miz by Sister Abigail-ing all of them. And the only thing I can say is, what was with the Kansas City crowd tonight? I can understand not being on the joy juice and not screaming and hollering throughout the entire show. But that crowd was dead throughout the biggest part of it. Even when Bray Wyatt came out, I heard crickets. So, you gotta make some noise. Sitting at home, a crowd's noise can do wonders as far as the effect. And you just got to change that. Got to. You got to make some noise. But that was Monday Night Raw tonight. Not a tremendous show. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great either. Y'all let me know what you're thinking in comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Facebook and Twitter at 2007Webby. Tomorrow, SmackDown Live review. Until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.